Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Good
Here we
evening,
are
everybody.
after a great vacation that we had, and I'm sure that uh, Mike had a good break from us for a while, but we're all back here together, and we got some good fishing reports today from all over, and a few things some few changes that's happening that we can talk about. And
Mhm.
again, we want to hear from all of you guys out there, see what's going on.
Yeah, sorry, I'm still sharing the
Yeah,
podcast.
no,
So
it's fine. Yeah, I'm over
yeah,
here
welcome back,
too.
everybody. It's been a quiet 2 weeks.
And I got the dogs.
Back
All of a sudden, they're
on
barking. I don't know why. They got to bark. You know,
what's that?
the dogs are all barking. So
Oh,
somebody either came to the front door, or heaven knows. Usually, an Amazon or FedEx truck comes down the street and they can see it through the door. I don't know.
hmm
That
yeah,
drives me nuts.
yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, we get that as well. But thankfully, my office is all the way in the back of the house. So
Now, I
um,
can tell you one thing. We got a wonderful rain last night. A good, nice,
yeah,
steady rain for a
yeah.
couple of hours.
Well, that was good for you. We got rain once few days ago, and that was it. I mean, it rained for a few hours, and that was it. It wasn't enough to do anything here. It was wonderful when it did, and I think it's drizzled a little bit last night, but heard the thunder, heard it all, but
But didn't get it.
not here. It just seems like it. Whenever these storms, because I keep getting notices on my phone saying, "Hey, you got a storm, moderate rain within 10-15 minutes." You sit there and look at the radar, and here it comes, and it just evaporates before it hits us.
Well, I just see it on the news that Bradenton South, they were going to get hammered pretty good this afternoon.
Mm,
Some pretty good rain,
yeah,
which is,
good.
we need rain in Florida.
Oh,
We,
so
we, we
bad
really
right
do,
now.
you know. So I can talk a little bit about Key West, but let's talk a little bit about Crystal River. What's going on up there? Is the
Well,
tarpon there yet?
the tarpon are here. I've gotten a lot of reports of people hooking up, jumping them, and catching a few. So there's a lot more tarpon that have rolled through within the past week or so, and seeing bigger schools, especially near spoil banks and just outside the flat area. I mean, me personally, I've seen them kind of inside the mangroves, but only two or three at a time. But by the time I see them, because I'm not really paying attention to them, time I see them, they're right next to the boat and they kind of spook. But yeah, they're definitely rolling through. They're a little. Usually they come in about late April, so they're a little late this year. But we've had all these strange weather patterns lately, so I think that's what's caused it. But they are definitely here now.
Well, I can tell you in Key West, everywhere you go, there's tons and tons of tarpon.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere. I mean, when
hmm
we were cleaning the fish, there was 30, 40, and I saw one that I took a picture of. That sucker had to go over 200 pounds. He was that big.
Nice.
But I mean, they're everywhere you go. There's
Yeah.
tarpon. I mean, I think they all just went to Key West and stayed away from here.
Yeah. Well, they're starting to run through. I do know. Um, And then we're starting to get reports of cobia. A buddy of mine, Andrew, went out and found some cobia the other day. Actually targeted him and got a couple nice cobia out there on the wrecks. He had to go out a little ways, but they're starting to show up around here as well. So it's a good thing.
Well, we're getting a few in the bay from what I hear. Like I said, I hadn't been in the bay all week because I was out in Key West, but there's not a lot of people fishing either. Uh, that things have they're just not on the water. I mean, last week I think how's the wind up here last week? Was it pretty
Uh,
windy?
yeah, it's been blowing. I mean, the mornings are kind of quiet, and then it just kind of kicks off in the afternoon. A little bit windy. I do know a few of the days that I went out. I mean, it was windy one day, then just flat calm the next, and then the following day it just blowing again, and it just kind of blew from different directions. So, but right now I think most of it is we're trying to getting into that summertime pattern where it's 5 to 10 most days. You might get up there to 15, but it's not not the 20s and 25s yet. So I think we're finally kind of slowing down on these strong winds, hopefully and thankfully. Just a nice little breeze out there. It's great, just to keep you cooled off.
Okay, well, in Key West, I can tell you, except for Thursday, we had the most beautiful weather. I couldn't expect any better out of Key West. We just had, uh, and we caught fish like you wouldn't believe.
Mm.
I mean, Mike, every time I go down there, that's the only thing I can say. We were maybe 20-minute run from shore where you can see Key West right there. I mean, crystal clear, not in the distance, a little tiny thing. I mean, there, okay?
Yeah.
We're 115 feet of water and we're catching 12 to 18 pound mutton snapper.
Nice.
And I mean, when those suckers hook, they can fight. I haven't, oh man, I'm telling you. And you know what this guy was using, this captain? He was using amberjack roe.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
How exactly do you put that on a hook?
It's pretty thick. It's got like a I don't know. You know, you think it's like eggs, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's different. And he had it in you buy them in bags, and we used that to
Interesting.
catch all these mutton snapper. They were going crazy on it. Other people, we had 3 or 4 other boats around us. One other guy was using the same thing. He was catching them. The other 3 boats weren't doing nothing. They were really hitting this stuff. I mean, this was like 2 of the trips. And one of the trips, we were using some 16-inch baits on this big grouper rod with a Penn International, a big one. And we lost 2 fish that we could not stop. I mean, you know, it's with the bent rod on the gunnel, so you can just crank it without holding the rod.
Right.
And we get this sucker up about 10, 15 feet off the bottom. All right, we got him. And then all of a sudden, whoa, 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 and go into the rocks and break you off.
Jeez.
I mean, it was, and I think I sent Holta, he should show it, some of the biggest strawberry grouper I have seen in years. I mean, normally, I've caught them in the Gulf 12 inches, 14 inches, and then in the Bay, they're 10, 12 inches. These suckers were 20 inches.
Wow.
22. I mean, they were big. I felt so sorry because they were legal size that I let them both go.
Yeah.
I said, I can't kill you. They were just too pretty to kill.
Right. Right.
You know, I did keep some mutton snapper because I'm going to be eating fish for a couple of weeks. I like mutton snapper, I tell you
That's
that.
good.
And the
Yeah.
yellowtails, we caught a lot of yellowtail snapper. We got a few flags and the, you know, big ones, maybe 6 or 7. A lot. I don't think we caught any that weren't keeper, but quite honestly, I think it's 12 inches the limit. Unless they're 15 inches or bigger, they're not really worth keeping.
Right.
So I think we kept like 6 nice big yellowtails. Everything else we kept releasing. I know we lost, but I think that we lost 4 big fish in that trip. I mean, big ones. And then of course we had a couple of sharks that came in and ate some of our fish. I mean, it's a shame. You're fighting this fish and fighting, all of a sudden you feel, whoa, and you bring it up and you got about an 8-pound, 10-pound fish, and all you got is half of it.
Yeah.
You done ate the other half.
Yeah. Once they know you're there, it's hard to get them out of that feeding mode once they do that.
And I noticed that it's like 2 mindsets in the Keys. One of the captains believes in the old system where long leader, he uses a triple swivel with one that's about 15 inches long. That's where he hangs the sinker on. And now you got to have that to get the fish to bite. Then the other guy that we caught the biggest mutton snappers with, and a bunch of, he was just using a 1-inch jig head because the tide was slow and 115 feet of water. You just had to feed it a lot of line, and they were hitting the crap out of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, there was no rhyme or reason. You know what I mean?
Right.
You think you got to have this long leader, and then here's the guy ain't using he's just using like a 4-foot leader. But I mean, the jig head is right, that's right there. So, some of them say, oh, you got to keep the sinker away from the hook. They can see it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's different thinking. I don't know.
Well, and I think a lot of it is a confidence thing. I really, because, I tried different types of doing offshore charters, different types from, the knocker rigs to the 3-point rigs to just throwing down some jig heads or, just throwing a spoon down there. I think it's all about confidence and what really works for you. So, because I got friends who love jig heads and that's the way they catch fish here, and I use circle hooks. So,
Yeah.
and I think it's just kind of one of those things. But for the most part, whenever we did offshore for red snapper, because that was always a big thing, is people want long leaders away from the your away from the hook, everything else like that. Well, I just said, well, I don't do that. I just bring the snapper up. So I just keep chumming and bring the snapper up to the boat. Then you don't have to worry about a weight at all.
Right.
That worked just perfect.
And I mean, and this one guy, both of them, they used the chum bag and had the chum over the side. And the other thing too is we had some of the biggest spade fish I've ever seen in my life come up to the back of the boat.
Really?
I mean, big spade fish. I'm talking about, biggies.
Yeah.
I mean, when you hook one of those, and they were right on top of the water, we hooked a couple. They can fight.
Yeah.
I guess because they're so flat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can fight. I felt sorry for them.
Yeah.
We let them go, but I mean, they were overall though. But man, let me tell you, if you're going to go down there, you better take a lot of money to eat, or you better go to a lot of the Cuban restaurant that we went to, because everywhere you go, any meal is going to be $30 to $50 a person
Oh, I know.
or more.
Yeah.
Every place, I don't care where you go, any little thing, $30, $38, $41. We did go to the Spanish restaurant that I always go to called El Bonet. Now there, you had $15, $18 where, like, I got a big Cuban steak, black beans, yellow rice, and plátanos, and Cuban bread for $18.
Oh, that's
The
good.
same meal by Duval Street at an American restaurant, but they called it, Cuban food.
Yeah.
They were $36.99.
Wow.
Twice as much.
Yeah.
And not
Yeah.
as much food and not as good food.
Right.
So
Yeah,
go to Key West, save your money.
Yeah, it's not cheap down there in the Keys. So yeah. Last time we was down there, we went blackfin fishing. And yeah, it's not cheap. So
now, I haven't heard from Donald how he's done lately. And Donald, how'd you do on that trip that you went on the day that I called you to go with me, and you already had a trip going? How did you do that day? I wonder.
Yeah.
Because I called him up to do a trip, and he couldn't make it.
No.
So, he was too busy. And if anybody want to go with us next year, we're going to have about 5 rooms available, but it's on a first come, first served basis. You got to contact me. And Mike, you might want to go.
Yeah, like I said, I got to plan it a little bit better.
It's going to be the day after Mother's Day. Same thing, Monday through Saturday. And let me tell you, we're staying right on Duval Street, a block from Duval Street.
Yeah.
And we stay at the Navy Air Base, at the Navy Suites.
Mm-hmm.
We spent the whole week there for about a day and a half, what it costs you to stay at a regular hotel.
Yeah.
And that's a cheapy hotel.
Yeah.
Some of those hotels, $500 a day, $700 a day. The
Right.
cheap ones are $400. That's a bargain. $350 if it's a dump.
Yeah.
But one of those with the window air conditioner that clicks all night long. Click, 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 click. But that's a bargain deal, see?
No doubt. No, I think I'll try to plan it next week. Or next year to get down there. Yeah, I just had some things going on here. and just couldn't go. And then this Thursday I leave to go down to Fort DeSoto for Memorial Day weekend. So I'll be down
Yeah.
there.
Now, how crowded does it get there for Memorial Weekend?
Oh, it's crowded.
The place gets packed.
Yeah, it does. But I get there Thursday evening and then put the boat in the water, and we get all set up and everything else like that. And we just don't leave. We have all of our food we needed. The only thing we'll leave for is maybe have to get some ice, but most of the time we got a lot of friends who come in and visit with us, and we just tell them, look, every time you show up,
bring ice.
So
Bring ice and
it works
liquor.
for us.
Ice and liquor.
Yeah. Well, you're not supposed to have liquor there.
Oh. Just bring ice and Coke.
Coke, yes.
Yeah. With the twist cap.
Being a state park.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
Well,
we have a good time, and yeah, it does get crowded most of the time. We'll get up early, crack of dawn, get on the boat, do some fishing, and then about the time that all the jet skis and everything else shows up, and 11 o'clock or so like that, it's kind of warm anyway, and we go back to the campsite and pull the boat up and then just relax for the rest of the day. And I may go out in the evening time once things kind of settle down, but for the most part, get a few hours in the morning, catch a bunch of fish, and you're good to go. So it's fun.
Now, I hear that the main docks on Fort DeSoto is still not repaired.
I believe so. Yeah.
That's what they told me the other day, that they haven't repaired those yet.
It's quite
So
possible.
it's tricky to launch.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is I've got, a buddy of mine who's going to be there. So all he has to do is I'll be in the boat, just back it up. I drive it right off, and then he'll take it to the campsite. So
what I don't understand is, why have they taken so long? It's been
Lord knows.
going into 2 years, right? Since the hurricane.
Yeah.
So that should have been done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it took a while for any of the docks around here to get done. I'm sure it's everything. It's all red tape and bureaucracy because the state has got to pay for it, and you got to get approval for this and approval for that, and so things just take time instead of somebody just taking the point and getting it done.
Yeah. We'll see what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so tell me that. Let's talk a little bit about this. How they want to do the new fishing license for out-of-staters. That's going to cause a lot of problems.
Yeah. That's something that kind of come up with recently, and I kind of did a little research on it. And they're trying to streamline the cost of, apparently, with the using credit cards, debit cards, et cetera, online for out-of-state people to do the 3 or 5 day or week or whatever type of license was getting expensive for them. So they're trying to streamline it to the point where the only people that can do the 3, 5, or 7 day out-of-state licenses are bait stores or West Point, I think West Marine or something like that, or the local tax office. So that way, those businesses, and I think there was kind of a twofold here. Some of the businesses, the tackle shops and everything else, weren't really getting any revenue from people coming in and buying licenses because they could do it online. So it kind of works in one way, but then takes it away from the other, because most people coming into Florida fishing for a few days or whatever else like that, they may go to a bait shop, but not all bait shops have the ability to print these licenses right there. So these people are going to have to go to strictly the licensed outfitters, bait stores, tackle stores, whatever, that actually has the capability of printing these things out.
Yeah, but the mom and pa ain't going to be able to do that, right?
To have those printers. So yeah, it's kind of good and bad at the same time. So it's all about cost at this moment in time. You can still buy the year license online if you're out of state, but you can't buy the short-term licensing. Now, with that, I will say that I go up north quite often, and I have fished up there. North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, those places like that. You can only buy a year license if you're out of state. You
Oh,
can't
really?
get a temporary license for most of those places. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. Because I still get emails from North Dakota, I think it is. Please renew your yearly license. Even though, I was only up there for a day or something to fish. And they also do that for hunting as well in some of those states.
Yeah, but think about this though a minute, Mike. Like we go to Louisiana every year to film. I got to buy my license. It's got to be online for Louisiana. Why don't they just say, hey, instead of having a 3-day and a 7-day or whatever, why don't they just say minimum? There's a 15-day license.
Yeah.
That's it. And then you just get it with a credit card.
Right.
Minimum 15 days.
Yeah.
If you wanted more than 15 days, then you buy the 1 year.
Right.
And that's it.
It makes sense. But, again, you're talking to people who do it for a living. And then the people who are making these decisions don't do it for a living. So there you go. And they don't, I didn't ever see anything out there as far as an opinion or, hey, we're thinking about doing this. What's everybody's comments on it? Or they just do it. So it seems like they're not paying attention to the actual people who use these licenses on a regular basis before they make a decision. So they're not really talking to the public.
Because like in Louisiana, you buy a 3-day license. You tell them what day you want that license to become effective. It's not, well, I'm buying it today, it starts tomorrow. No. Because like Donald said, well, what happens if a guy comes in on a Friday? Hey, you can go a week before and buy the license for 15 days and say, okay, I want it to be effective June 1st.
Yeah.
And you got through June 15th to fish. So there's no problem. I mean, if you're coming down here, you know when you're going to be here.
Right.
If you know you're going to be here starting this Friday for 3 or 4 days, you can buy it up north, put your order in and say, make it effective May 27th, whatever. Then it's going to be good for, and then just make it simple. Hey, I don't know what the license is for out-of-state people, but just make one, a 15-day or a year. That's it. You don't need to give people a bunch of choice. Most people are going to come down. If they're going to be winter people and be here 3 or 4 or 5 months, buy a year license and get it over with.
Right.
And if you're only coming down on vacation, 15 days, that's for 2 weeks.
Right.
That's plenty.
Yeah.
Most people, if you're on vacation, you're not going to be here more than 2 weeks.
I know. I don't know how much revenue is being lost because of that, or maybe gained because people just buy the year license. Who knows? But I mean, even the state of Mississippi does the same thing. You go there and you buy a license. You can actually tell which dates you're going to be there, and as soon as you show up, it's there. And of course, everything's on your phone, so you're good to go. But I'm not sure the thinking behind this idea, other than cutting costs. And I'm going, why are we cutting costs? Fishing is one of the most lucrative revenue streams that we have in Florida. What are we cutting costs for?
So, and all you got to do, listen, if the license is $20 and you're saying, well, we got to take a credit card, make it $21. There you go. What do you got? You got to pay 2%, whatever. Make it $21 instead of 20.
I mean, most places that you do a credit card anyway are going to charge you that fee, not the place that has to take the card absorb that fee. You're getting charged for it. Again, it's just it wasn't a whole big excerpt about it. It was just a few lines, and this is what they're doing, and
it's kind of dumb. Like I said, I never argue. Hey, when I go to Louisiana, I need to get a 3-day fishing license. If it's $15.47, I pay the $15.47. Get it over with. I mean, you need it.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's just, I don't know. And again, it's how many people are actually going to be able to print one? Now, did you hear in Key West, the talk was pretty big about West Marine filing Chapter 11?
Yes. That's the other thing that's happened.
Is that happening, or I just heard they were talking about it in Key West, everybody.
Yeah, it's happening. To do restructuring, and they're closing stores and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not sure how far that's going to go, but yeah, it seems to be happening. And it's definitely a thing going on. So that's going to be interesting to find out how that happens.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I've got a nice store in Tampa, and the last time, it was a couple of months ago, I had to buy a couple of things that I really needed in a hurry. I went in there, they didn't have none of it. They had so many empty pegs, and they didn't even have the right selection of stuff. And I'm saying, how in the heck can they stay in business this way? And then some of the stuff that I saw, my God, the price was ridiculous.
Yeah,
I looked at it and I said, Jesus.
Yeah, and that seems to be.
They wanted like $59 and something for an item that it was $49.95 everywhere else.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the cost of their equipment, their goods and services in there is definitely higher than most places. But it seems like most of what's happening to most brick and mortar stores is that they can't compete with online sales. And I mean, I don't buy my fishing equipment from Amazon or anything else like that. I try to go to the local stores.
So do I.
Yeah. You've got to have competing prices with what's down there. And right now you can go to some local tackle stores and everything else and get it cheaper than at West Marine. So,
well, West Marine has never been. Local tackle stores always had better pricing than West Marine, in my opinion. Yeah. Especially on fishing tackle, their selection was terrible. Yeah. At the Tampa store. I mean, it's just there wasn't much there.
Well, and not only that, maybe it's gone to the point where it's more of a corporation type management than it is for the local fishermen managing. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're not talking to the local people to see what they need and all that kind of stuff. They're just buying or filling their shelves of what normally goes out the door, and that's it. And then once they go out with it, they only order a small amount of it. And once it's out, and they wait till next month to order again. So I don't know. It's
and then sometimes
a little bit.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't understand the thinking of some of the management. For example, and I'm going to use it because it happened to me personally. We're doing the kids thing June 6th for the kids, right? Mm-hmm. All these rods and reels and tackle. Lee Fisher gave us their $20 tackle boxes. We ordered 125 for the kids. And they gave it to us a little bit over cost, under $10, about 50% off. Mm-hmm. So we were trying to find, reasonable, good rods and reels. So I go to Academy, and they had this nice setup for like $30 for the little kids. But it was pretty good stuff. So I said, can I speak to the manager? Now, I got a coupon in the mail that was $10 off on 100, and then $50 off on 500, and then $20 off on 200. It's like 10, 20, or 50. So I tell the manager, I need 100 of these rods and reels. Can you get me a discount? Oh, we don't discount.
Yeah.
I said, but you just sent me a thing in the mail that if I bought $500 worth of stuff from you, you're going to give me $50. Mm-hmm. That's 10%, isn't it? I said, but I'm coming in here and I want to buy $1,200 worth of stuff, of these rods and reels, and you're telling me you can't give me a penny off.
Yeah.
And this woman actually looked at me and said, yeah, well, we don't discount. I said, then why did you send me a coupon for 10% off if you don't discount?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It just, I don't understand it.
No.
So sometimes I think that they're cutting themselves,
Yeah, they lose.
They're hurting themselves.
They're losing business, and that's where your local tackle stores and retailers and stuff like that. I mean, they'll work with with people. They'll work with you local and give you the deals because they want your business. And I think that's where corporation is completely lost. They've lost it as far as that point. And that's why I don't do the big stores to get things. I don't think I haven't stepped in a Bass Pro Shop in close to 2 years.
Well, I like to go in Bass Pro Shop about once a year just to look around
Yeah.
and see what they got. But to be honest with you, I do most of my stuff at Tampa Fishing Outfitters,
Mm-hmm.
and I like the little local where you're talking to the people, and they treat you right, and even like Tampa Fishing Outfit, if you went in there and you told them you wanted to buy 10 rods and reels, they'll get you a discount.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll work with you because they want the business.
Yeah.
And you're supporting the local market. I
Yeah.
I haven't been into Dick's Sporting Goods to look at, well, of course, they don't have much fishing tackle anymore.
That's
I haven't been in the
waste
Dick's
of
Sporting
energy.
Goods because they were ridiculous.
They are. That's I don't even. Yeah. To me, it's kind of like Dick's is just like with the old sports authorities. They went out of business too, and I think that's it's just useless. So,
Well, I tell you what, let's get
get a
Tony
report.
Franklin's
Yeah.
fishing report in.
who you want to?
Hi, Captain Tony Franklin back once again with this week's fishing report. This week has been a fantastic week. We've caught a lot of fish. We've caught some bigger snook. We've caught some big redfish. Action has just been crazy. We've caught Spanish mackerel, large Spanish mackerel. We've caught mangrove snapper. We actually got lucky enough to get 3 or 4 huge mangrove snapper in the bay. These fish have been holding around mangrove areas, rocky points, rocky islands, around oyster beds, catching some nice silver trout, catching spotted sea trout. We've also caught some larger spotted sea trout this week. There's been a lot of action with blacktip sharks, small blacktip sharks. And blacktips have been everywhere. They've been on the grass flats. They've been in some of the sandy areas. We've also caught some flounder this week. Been ladyfish for action. There's been jack crevalles. So this week has just been a fantastic week. We don't get weeks like this all the time. It's just an amazing week. So get out on the water, catch some fish. Right now, everything's biting. We're using live scaled sardines. So the best bet this week was on the strong incoming tide worked the best. I did notice on the slack tide, which is normally the case, the bite was quite a bit slower. Once that tide picked up, we had a strong tide this week. It works really well. So if you want to get out on the water, catch some fish, this is the time to do it. It's still not super hot yet, although it's starting to get pretty warm. That's my report for this week. Tight lines. I'll see you next week.
And thank you very much, Tony. Yeah, and it sounds like it. I haven't talked to some of the captains since I just got back, but it sounds like there's a bait move back into Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Because before I left, it was just starting to come back a little bit. It got scattered pretty hard.
The bite has definitely picked up. I mean, we're kind of close to that summertime pattern right now, and water temperatures are up there where they need to be, and these fish are getting a little more active and seeing a lot more fish than normal. So than what we've been used to, should I say? We're seeing the bigger schools, more schools of reds and snook, and things are kind of popping. So it's good time.
So that's all right. Now let's see, because we got a lot of people.
We need to get a few of them done here.
Yeah, let's get Scotty.
Go for it.
Hello, everybody. This is Captain Scotty Rose, Charlotte Harbor. Glad to be back. Fishing the last couple weeks has absolutely been phenomenal. Snook pretty much anywhere you go, canals, flats, it doesn't really seem to matter. They're just everywhere and biting very well. We're getting a lot of big mangrove snapper too. I've seen some inside the bay the last couple weeks up to 15, 16 inches, which is huge for Charlotte Harbor. That's usually something that you might find offshore, but we're getting some huge ones inside the bay. And of course, it is that time of year. Tarpon season is in full swing. For those guys that fish the pass, there's no problem getting a bite out there. The weather's beautiful, warm and sunny. Go get them, guys. And in the upper harbor, we're not seeing a whole lot of the big ones yet. That usually comes more towards July. We start catching them up here in the northern end of the bay. But we're getting a lot of those little guys in that 10, 20, 30 pound range. So there's no problem catching fish in Charlotte Harbor right now. Another thing that I've been running into, there's been some nice Spanish mackerel running around. And I'm not even actually fishing for them. I'm just running into them accidentally while I'm fishing for something else. So that's kind of neat. Over the last couple weeks, I went offshore a couple days. I don't guide offshore, but I have friends with boats, and I spent some time offshore with some friends and family. And we headed out to about that 50 to 60 mile mark, and the bite out there is absolutely wonderful. We brought home red grouper, lane snapper, mangrove snapper, porgies, but we really caught some huge red grouper, up to 30 inches or so. So there's all kinds of good things going on. It's summertime, it's getting hot out there, but these tropical fish like the warmth. So if y'all want to come down here to Charlotte Harbor, I've got some days available. Look forward to hearing from you. Tight lines, everybody. We'll talk at y'all next week.
Thank you, Scotty.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Scotty. And
No,
it's nice he got a chance to go offshore.
Yeah. Don't get to too often to do that. But I want to say hey to everybody. Just kind of refreshing. For some reason, these comments are not refreshing as they come up. So
Yeah, I noticed that. Let's see here.
Hey, Jessica, Craig Lair's on. Yeah, Craig, I agree with the if you don't buy local, then if you got to send something back, it takes forever to go. But that's why I stick to local tackle stores and stuff like that to buy my things. Not only that, you get personal service. I mean, you can't beat it. So,
He said, "What is it? It's now it's $4.50 an hour to park to go to the beach.
what's that?
And that's
Yeah.
every beach in Pinellas County.
Oh, wow.
$4.50 an hour. You know, it's ridiculous. So you go with your family, what, at least 4 hours, 5? You got to go 5. I mean, you got to get 5 hours of parking to be safe, right?
Yeah.
So now you're looking at $25
Yeah.
to park.
I'm telling you that they're going to figure out a way, somehow, to take more money out of your pocket, no matter where you go. It's getting ridiculous now. Where it's anyway. I'm just frustrated. There's other things going on with the same issue up here. It's just
Now, if you heard any,
everyone wants a piece of you, and it's
if you heard anything else about this having the parking situation for captains at some of these ramps, anything else come up lately?
No, it's still, we've got other things happening at the county commissioner's office right now, and I think that's kind of been side-tabled for a little bit. At least I haven't heard much about it, but yeah, there's some other rumblings going on with use of land and stuff like that for building and stuff. That's got the county commissioner just going crazy right now. So yeah, it's been a little it's been a lot of drama at the county commissioner's office lately. It's been quite entertaining to read, but no, I haven't heard much about the boat ramps and what their plan is, but guarantee there's something going to happen. I mean, it's just inevitable. Like I said, everybody wants a piece of your money some way or somehow, no matter what you do. We're no longer the land of the free and do what you want. It's how much you can pay, then you can do it. So
yeah,
that's just how it is.
And it's a shame. And my concern around here is, especially just going down into the Keys, so much construction going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep saying, guys, you're complaining about a water shortage, about all of this. Where's the water? Where's the infrastructure to be able to handle more and more apartments and condos and apartments everywhere? I mean, just around me, where the Barmley brothers used to be, they're building 4 new subdivisions. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And they're complaining in this area that you got to watch the water. We got a shortage. Yeah, we got a shortage, but you're going to add another 4,000 homes to that shortage.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
understand.
the same thing here. They want to put a data center here, and everybody's no, no, no. So that's one of the big things. And it's just, and it may have a point to it, it may not. But when you have FWC commissioners, they're developers, and they have companies that are developers, then it doesn't matter. Developers is what runs the state right now. We don't have any more advocacies for conservation and keeping the shorelines, and it's all about developing. And when you have the lobbyists and the politicians and everybody in the pockets of developers, then that's what's going to happen. So until that changes and people get out there to vote and start and stop allowing anybody who is in any way, shape, or form attached to developing in our politicians, in our local and state, then it's just going to continue as it is. So you got to stop it, and you got to vote every one of them out of there if you want to conserve Florida, because right now we're not. We're going to end up like California, where every space is occupied in some way, shape, or form. That's just my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, let's get Michael Dawson on.
Hey guys, Captain Michael Dawson here of this week's fishing report and forecast. So right now, the Anklet region, we are in our full summertime pattern now. Tarpon migration has started to come through, snook on the beach, big trout on the beach. It's kind of my favorite time of year out here right now. So starting off, tarpon's the key right now. They've been showing up the last few days out here now, and it's only going to get better on this next moon phase. But there are a lot of fish. Most of the fish are still out on the beach side right now. Not quite too many in the intercoastal yet. But get out there early morning, sit on a beach trough line, and just sit there and wait for this cool to come down. For any you snook fishermen out there, lots of snook on the edges of beaches right now. Three Rooker, Honeymoon, and Code all have these big snooks sitting on the points right now. Big pig fish seem to be the key. They will eat some whitebait, but big pig fish is always the bait choice for these big girls. Plenty of redfish and trout around. Redfish in the mangroves near Anklet Key. Cut bait, cut piece of threadfin work well. But big trout are also on the beach and all that stuff. As we get offshore, mangrove snapper bites starting to fire off, anywhere in that 20 to 30 feet of water range, as well as still some few kingfish hanging around. Get out there, have a good time, stay safe. Be safe out there this Memorial weekend. Going to be a lot of people on the water. We're going to try to take it off Sunday and Monday this year. Try to stay away from the craziness. But be out there. If you get out there, be safe and catch some fish. Captain Michael Dawson.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, one of the things he said, this is Memorial Weekend, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, please be careful.
Yes. Everybody
Actually,
stays safe.
it's Monday, right? It's Memorial.
Monday is, but the weekend is, Saturday, Sunday, there's going to be a lot of people out there on the water. It's just one of those things where it kicks off the summer and everybody dusts off those boats they haven't touched in a year. So be careful.
There's going to be a lot of people at the boat ramp that turn the key and they said, "Oh, did anybody put the batteries to charge?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I did 8 months ago.
Yeah. You forget to plug in the boat. Pay attention if
Check
you're
your
seeing
gas
this
if
and you
it's
don't
been
take the
splitting.
boat out often, do that checklist before you get to the boat ramp.
Make sure you put some fuel stabilizer in your gas tank if it's been sitting for a while.
Yeah, I know. That's why when I go to Fort DeSoto, I put mine in on Thursday evening. I get over there to the campsite at dark, so I don't have to deal with anybody, and then it stays in the water till Sunday evening. When everybody's off the water, then I pull it back out, and that way I don't even have to deal with it on Monday. So yeah.
And gas is
Oh.
Well,
Yeah, it's even for my Toyota, it's getting up there. It's crazy how much cost is just getting
and
ridiculous.
My marina's still doing good. I got to give them credit. They're only $5.50 a gallon.
Yeah.
Some of the places I saw in Key West is $6.29 a gallon.
Yep.
And those guys with triples going out fishing,
Mhm.
they got to be burning $300-400 easy,
Oh, yeah.
easy on fuel.
It's one of the reasons why I stopped doing the offshore charters, because it just what was it back in, what was the last gas shortage when things went just crazy? 16, 17, somewhere in there. It just, the prices were ridiculous, and it would cost me almost the whole trip just to fill the freaking boat. So yeah, it was not cheap. So yeah.
Amen to that. Is anybody got any comments out there on what's going on? Jim Pace, did you see Jim on today? I know he didn't have anything. His boat was in the repair shop.
Yeah, I haven't seen him on here.
I didn't see him on today. I just saw that his boat was in the repair shop. I don't know what was going on. And now, one of the things that I noticed in the Keys, I tell you what, there's a lot of tackle stores, a lot of the smaller stores, but you go in them and they're pretty well stocked on, and I think a lot of people can learn from this. They're well stocked on what's used down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might find some odds and ends here and there, but the stuff that you use every day, they got it, and they got plenty of it. They're not going to run out, because that's their bread and butter.
Yeah, you get that information through the charter captains and through people who are, frequent that place quite a bit, that, hey, this is working. Can you get this in? Can you get that in? And then, they pay attention to what the fishermen use, and that's what they fill their shelves up with. So that's why buying local, get away from the online guys, get away from the big box stores, and you're going to get what you need. I take the trip down to Homosassa to go to my store because I know they're going to have what I need. And again, it's a local company. You're helping local people, local families, and that's what makes the difference. So,
and what I noticed too, in the Keys, there's 2 or 3 locals that are making all the jig heads and all that all the captains are using. And I was talking to one guy, and I said, "What's so good about this particular jig head that you're using?" He says, "Sergio, I can buy them 100 in a bag, at a very good price. I save a lot of money because we lose a lot of jig heads on the rocks on the bottom here." And he said, "I can't afford to buy regular jig heads and pay all that money. And then most of them aren't colored, they're just plain lead looking." And I said, "Do you think that the color," because I might as well ask all these questions. That's how I learned. I said, "Do you think not having them in white or red or yellow makes a difference on what you catch?" He says, "The only thing that makes a difference on these jig heads is the bait that I put on it." He said, "Other than that, the fish don't care what color the jig head is. They ain't looking at the jig head. They're looking at the food that's on the hook."
I've got a guy in Ocala who makes mine, Monster Jigs, and that's who I use as well on a regular basis. But I call him up and I get bulk. But he says, "What color do you want? What color eyes? What color, all this?" I'm going, "Hey, white and green's good for me. And then the eyes, just gold. You're good to go." I don't really do too many other colors than that. Like I said, it's usually what you put on the end that makes the biggest difference.
I think you're right on that. All right, let's
local and there's bulk.
Let's do Niall.
Yeah, go for it.
From Stanahatchee.
Hey, this is Niall with Sweet Paradise Charters here in Steenhatchee with this week's fishing report. Fishing has been kind of hit or miss the past week and a half. We've done very well on some days. Some days have been pretty tough. So the water temperature is climbing on up into the low to mid 80s now. So the trout are really been spread out. Been catching a lot of shorts. When I say short, it'd be like 14 and a half inches. But then on some days we've done very well with some good trout, 18, 19 inches, some a couple over 20. Ran a charter on Saturday and we really struggled until the afternoon. We found a lot of trout up in a lot of rock grass up close and 3 foot of water. So the bait of choice though to catch these the past few weeks has been gulp with a chartreuse tail, shrimp, live shrimp, or cut bait. A little on the flukes, which I'm a fluke guy, but flukes have been kind of struggling. So hoping that we get back into them this week and find more. The trout have definitely moved out into a little deeper water in some areas. 6 to 7 foot of water. Redfish, though, has been very good. We found redfish up close around the oyster bars when the tide's coming back in. Fishing oyster bars or any creek mouse on points. We've been catching those on one of my newest flavors is the Texas Roach by Saltwater Assassin. That's been an awesome paddle-tailed soft plastic that I found that's done very well with them. Again, with also with cut bait and a live shrimp up close catching redfish. So, like I said, it's been pretty tough this week, but hopefully this coming up weekend we don't have any really fronts coming through this week, so fishing should be well. Again, this coming up weekend, looking forward to it. Got some charters this weekend, and we'll have another fishing report next week out of Steinhatchee. We do have scallop season that starts in 24 days in Steinhatchee. If anybody would like to come fishing or scalloping in Steinhatchee, give me a call at 850-443-7335. And again, that's Niall Bryant with Sweet Paradise Charters. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Niall.
Tom.
And he
So
said, when does your scallop season start, Mike?
July 1st.
July 1st?
Yeah.
Up in Crystal River?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably we're gonna probably go out and do a little snorkeling about mid-June to kind of see what we've got going on here. Hopefully, it's a good year, but yeah. So I'm gonna answer Donald's question. The name of the store is Sportsman's Wholesale down there in Homosassa. Good guys down there. I got a few friends that work there as well, and that's usually where I go. That's where I get most of my stuff. So. Really good place.
Fantastic. All right, let's get Jessica on because then we still have your report.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Captain Jessica Hannebeck with You'll Hook 'em Charters out of Chaska, Florida. We had 2 weeks off, so this is our first week back again. The fishing has been really good. The water temperature, I believe, was like 88. It's getting really hot. This weekend, one of our friends passed away, so we held a fishing tournament for him in Chaz, which was pretty cool because we never really have a tournament that's designated to leave Chaz and come back and weigh in at Chaz. So that was pretty neat. I did take first place for redfish, and we did get first place for bag weight as well. We caught some trout, 2 really nice redfish, a black drum, and when we were trout fishing, I did get a triple tail. So that was nice. It'll be a nice dinner this week. Tides were 4:45 a.m. high, low at 11, and 3:30 for high tide again. So we kind of had a lot of water coming in and out most of the day yesterday. So that was nice. Now that it is pretty hot, you might have to soak your baits for about 10 to 15 minutes. They seem to be moving a little slow. And if it's on that high tide, try to get it up under those mangroves so you can get them out of there. Other than that, the wind's been pretty decent for me. Redfish bite's been phenomenal. And of course, now that snook season is closed, they seem to want to play more. I think they know. So if you want to come out in Chaz and explore it and fish it, swim in the springs, you can call me at 352-464-7309 or text me.
Got it.
Jessica.
Thank you, Jessica. All right, and Mike, let's get your fishing report in.
Yeah, we're running out of time.
That's right.
Good evening, everybody. Captain Mike Haynes out of Crystal River, Florida. Well, water temperatures have increased up into the 80s. Air temperature has increased up into the 90s. So we're coming to a summertime pattern here, and it probably won't take too long to get there. But redfish have definitely increased on their bite, and the numbers have increased. We're hitting mangroves now and catching more than just 1 or 2 reds. We're talking 5 to 12 to 20, depending on how big the school is in those areas. So redfish are definitely schooling up. Finding the mullet is still the key, always is with redfish. Find a big group of mullet, you're gonna more than likely find some redfish. I have noticed that they've kind of keyed in on the points as the tide's coming in. As the tide gets up, then they kind of move back into the mangroves, but they're still wanting some moving water. Recently we've been behind mangroves, kind of out of the way from the tide and everything else like that, but it seems to be they're kind of transitioning from behind tides to almost right next to them. So find it where you've got some moving water, and it seems to be where the redfish are, and obviously where the mullet are. Snook, kind of the same thing. A lot of the snook are hanging in the mangroves right now. You just have to pitch up underneath there and just keep pitching with some live bait, either pinfish or white bait if you got it. Haven't really done well on mud minnows recently, but I'm sure that'll change. It just, they kind of are opportunistic, so whatever you throw at them, I'm sure they're going to go for it, as long as it's kind of live and kicking right now, especially the snook. Trout are kind of offshore, 5 to 6 foot range. And I say offshore, it could be a mile, could be 3 miles, could be 5 miles. They're just kind of scattered out there in the deeper spots. So if you do find some trout out there, just kind of hang in that area, because more than likely you're going to find several different trout there. You'll still find a few in the morning, early, in some of the shallows, but your bite is just not consistent. You're going to get 1 or 2 here, and that's about it. Definitely offshore, pitching some jigs around, popping corks if you got them. And at this time of year, especially with popping corks, I kind of changed from shrimp and lures to hang a pinfish on them. And, anywhere between the 2 to 3 inch, you use those pinfish and pop on it. You'll catch some trout, but more than likely you're going to catch some mackerel out there, maybe some other type of species as well. Just, in that deeper water, longer leader, hit that popping cork, put a pinfish down there, and you might have a little better luck at different type of species. While you're out there, definitely hit the rocks and the reefs. The grunt bite has picked up, and get some good quality grunts out there, along with some mangrove snapper. The rocks are really starting to kick off because, it's summertime. Those rocks will start getting loaded with fish. And not only that, but the cobia have definitely moved in. Even saw some posts, people asking people for some catfish, if anybody's selling catfish. So cobia, got some good reports of, and saw some pictures of those being caught out there, and actually being able to get out there, target them, catch a few, and then come back inshore, catch a few reds. So if you're looking for cobia, they're around. Tarpon, seen a few pods running through here in Crystal River. I know they've got a few at the spoil banks and some out there on the flats. A lot of people jumping them and catching a few. So the tarpon are kind of moving through right now. So if you're interested in those, just kind of pay attention. Early morning when it's really, really flat, you'll be able to see them kind of, hitting the surface, kind of breaching, so to speak, and just kind of get them targeted with either live mullet, if you got it, or a very big pinfish underneath cork. That seems to be the ticket right now in getting a tarpon. So it's just going to get better from here as the summer progresses. Next week is Memorial Day weekend, so everybody be safe, pay attention out there, and don't drink and boat. Have a designated boater. And we'll see you next week. I'll be down in Fort DeSoto, but we won't have a report next week. We'll have it the following week. So everybody have a good Memorial Day weekend and be safe out there. See you later. Captain Mike Haynes, Fishbones Charters out of Crystal River, Florida.
And thank you, Mike.
Hey, well, and I guess I made that report with our intention of maybe hanging off Memorial Day. So, but I think we talked. We want to have another report next week.
Yep. What do you think?
I think we could do it. Like I said,
Well,
I
let's
should
do
be
it.
home
We'll
Monday
send
evening,
out
so-
and tell everybody to send us their fishing report in, and we'll go for it, man. I'm ready
Yeah.
to rock and roll.
Let's do it. Yeah.
All right.
Keep it up.
And, well, we used up our time, but thank you everybody for tuning in. Tell all your friends about, Fishing Adventures Florida West Coast Fishing Report. and you get to see Mike's friendly face every week. And you're going to see us at the boat show at the end of June. There's a 26, 27, and 28. We'll be at the Tampa Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
So thank you. And again, like Mike and I said, be very careful this coming weekend on the water. There's a lot of crazy people out there. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Be
God
safe,
bless.
y'all. We'll see you next week.